What's going on, everybody? On this episode of Sally's Speed Shop, we're going to be changing the leaf springs on this 57 Chevy that we picked up in Wichita, Kansas last year. One of the leaf springs was broke when we got it, and you don't change them one at a time, especially because they're lowering leaf springs. So we're going to change out both of them, and I've got my sister Cheryl here in the shop today and her son Justin. So follow along as we get it done. So here's our leaf spring on the passenger side, and you can tell from this gap that we have a problem. Those two springs actually fell out while we were driving on the road somewhere in Kansas, and so we're going to change these out. What we have are 3-inch lowering leaf springs to go on there. They also say you change out the U-bolts whenever you change those out, so got new ones there, and a new shackle for the rear, and then it has new bushings on the front. So we got some new bolts to go in there. So should have this thing looking like new and riding good here shortly. So we got one bolt up front here that we need to take out. And then we have 4 bolts holding the leaf spring on there, and then the shackle in the back. And what we're going to try to do is do these one at a time. We're gonna actually use an engine lift to prop this up, to hold this up while we're working on it. And that should make it a lot easier. Won't have to pull the shocks off, won't have to pull the drive shaft out. So we'll see how that goes. I've actually never changed leaf springs before, so we'll, you know, hopefully not die. Right?
Right.
That would be
nice.
That would be a bad thing.
Be a plus.
These two aren't necessarily car repair people, so you know
we are
I'm kind of having to coach them through this. And
wait a minute.
But this just lets you know that you don't have to be a car expert to work on to do car stuff. So it really should be a fairly simple job. It is 5:15. Let's see how long it will take us to get this done.
Now, strategically, where should we start as far as removing bolts?
I mean, we should loosen. Just go ahead and loosen all 4 of these.
Okay.
But I'll try to find an impact hammer.
Oh.
Looks like rip something apart.
No?
Not by me.
We do have a breaker bar somewhere.
I know Ratty tried to let me. It's been on there for like what? How many years?
65, 60, 57, what? 65 years?
Why does it feel like we're tightening?
So a little story about...
That is...
yeah, you're going the right way.
Okay.
Hold on. A little story about this breaker bar. My sister just got a job at a local hospital, which I've worked there and she's worked there. But I ride share from there to my job at Fort Benning, Georgia. And so I was there departing from my ride share a couple months ago, and this thing was laying in the parking lot. 24-inch breaker bar. Wow. And it's going to make things really easy, because what is the formula for torque? What's the formula for torque?
I don't know if I'm
It's force times the length. Gives you your foot-pounds of torque. Right? Yeah, trust me on that. It's physics.
I trust you.
So, you kids out there watching this, learn those physics. Pay attention in physics class, because you might use it one day. Yes. So we don't turn this thing into a family event. Yeah, if you take it up more, you can use your weight. I'm not trying to say anything there.
That's right.
You know, not that you weigh any excessive amount.
Take it that way. I don't.
I mean, but you know, brothers can say things to their sisters that, you know, husbands can't say to their wives. But in Georgia, we could be husband and wife too. You never know. Yeah. We're not that far from Alabama. So we live in Coweta County, which is the home of Alan Jackson. he's got a song called Home, and he talks about his daddy skinning his knuckles on the cars that he repaired. And yeah, we might be doing a little bit of that too. I think we actually do have to take this one off to get all of that out, or we have to take this off. Just, you want to do this one, Justin? Strapping young man. You might need the breaker bar. No? So the shackle was twisting, so I stuck we stuck a monkey wrench handle up between it to keep it from spinning around.
Did you throw a monkey wrench into that?
Yeah. Monkey wrench got thrown into our hands. You know, they always talk about dad jokes. What about mom jokes?
It's actually a good monkey. Yeah, there we go. Just need a little loosening.
So there we go. 65 years. They did a good job putting it on there. It didn't fall off.
Good shape. Right, I'm gonna put it
We got to get let's leave that hang on there while we get the front disconnected.
All right.
Just in case. Because it actually is going under the axle, so if everything fell right now, it actually would catch it. So, you know, sometimes I think about safety. Sometimes. Safety third, that's what they say, right? We have separation.
Yeah,
Let's put it over here.
It's in the frame.
It's in the frame.
Yeah.
It's in all.
It might fall down the road someday. Who knows?
Okay, so which one is which? Hey, this one says. So sometimes you don't know something and it's really quite obvious. Let it twist. It says right here on it. But we need to get the other side out first because the back side because this shackle. Okay, so that came out, but the rubber is still in there. You know, it's the little things that end up like killing you. We might be able to get it out easily. I don't know, but it's hitting against the wheel well. There you go. Nice. So there you go. 50 years of
Corrosion.
yeah, 50 years of a lot of wear and but still actually holding up pretty good. All right, so we're having a little trouble getting this bushing out, so we've been using this saw up in the hole, and we're just kind of, yeah, so we kept seeing flakes of rubber, chunks of rubber coming out. So now the bushing is actually backed out a little bit. So it looks like, I mean, it is a 65-year-old bushing, so it looks like it's going to cooperate. Maybe not. There, it's moving. And it's just basically, I might be able to pull it up. It's just basically rubber. Oh yeah, rubber inside a rusty hole. Oh, part of it's still in there. I guess it's a split bushing. So, sorry, our lighting is not what it should be. But anyway, we're close to getting it out, and then we're gonna put all the new stuff in. Like I said, pretty old, so not too much. I see it coming out. It's prairie dogging.
Hey, and here we go.
You look scary with the light from below. We're having a little trouble getting these bushings in, so we're gonna lube this thing up with some grease. And I know that might sound bad, but it can be a good thing. Wow, big difference.
Yeah,
Lube that thing up. All right, so this is how it goes. The arch goes towards the front of the car, and the larger portion, I don't know, is it larger? I thought it was larger. Goes towards the top. I think it's that way. I don't know. I don't think it's going to fall out. So hopefully it will squeeze in there. It's a little tight because maybe they built the frame first before they put the car on it. I think it's gonna work. So there's this spare tire well here that's kind of in the way. Maybe we need some grease on that.
Maybe.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah. Do it. Do it. Oh, nice. Nice. Very nice.
There we go.
Look at that.
All right. Remember a song about tied up with shackles and chains?
Does it need a...
Was that a Linda Ronstadt song years ago?
Didn't it go that way?
You got me tied up with shackles and chains. So we're doing the shackles. I don't know if y'all want to hear me sing. So there's the gap for the spring to fit into. Show it there, Vanna. And so the bolt's going to come through and hold the front of the spring. We have, turn that spring sideways, Justin, please. There you have the hole for it. And then it's going to come back and the axle will bolt to it here. And there's actually a pin on the spring that you use to center your axle on here. And then it comes back here and hangs from this shackle. Back in the day, people would extend their shackles so they could jack the cars up. And now they actually have lowering shackles so the car is even lower. So anyway, that,
All right.
we're using a factory shackle, but we're using 3 to 4 inch lowering springs. So we have the spring here. We should probably take these stickers off, but we don't care. It says front. That goes towards the front. And so we're using an engine lift to hold the axle up, which is, you know, probably not textbook, but I don't really like the way it's currently hanging there. Maybe I need to take a chain and loop around it so it won't come off the end. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do, because right now it could just slide down the lift, and I mean the drive shaft's gonna keep it from moving forward too much, but it's a little, it's not ideal from a safety standpoint. A screw jack would work better, but this is all we got. Raise it on up. We don't have to go far.
Oh yeah, it's moving.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
That went on like butter.
There's our like bud, or like Pauline would say. But will it really go back that far? Something is not right here.
I mean, we're way too far forward.
What is wrong here? I don't believe.
Like, did they send me the right springs? The correct springs? Does it need to go back that far? Because that's like 6 inches. Let's compare it to the old one. So it says front, but that is clearly labeled. I think that's clearly labeled wrong. Let's look at that. See how far it?
Did they label it wrong?
I think it's labeled wrong. Should be like that for it to be equally. Well, that's nice. Whoever made these springs.
Thanks.
We on freaking drugs that day or what? Hey, let's do this. This will be a cool trick. Yeah, not cool.
Not cool.
Like quality control, whoever did these. I don't remember who I bought them from. I think they're made in
China.
No, it's somewhere out in California. And I bought the California ones versus the Canada ones. But yeah, somebody was smoking some weed that day or something.
No way.
So yeah, we should probably take all these stickers off too. Okay, so we gotta pull that, we gotta pull all this off here.
Okay.
So, well, but wait a minute.
We got that
The
one goes on this
bushings
side.
the bushings are in the front.
It's like gonna work.
So how can we change that bushing out?
It's just very tight in there. Yeah.
The front.
Yep.
And
The pin is right where it needs to be.
they labeled them wrong. The front is
Okay,
not the
Justin.
front.
Put
The
it up
front
there.
should be at the back, and then they put the bushings in the front hole. So we're gonna have to swap the bushings.
So this has to go.
So the alignment pin for the axle determines
Let me see.
it.
So
When we
that
lay the
should-
old one beside the new one,
through here.
if you put the front towards the front,
Yeah, it does.
it's off
What
by
about
like
that
6
then?
or 8 inches, the pin. But if you flip it over, it's
Lines
right.
up perfect.
That's-
Take it over to the press.
Yep, so we got a press over here, Harbor Freight Special, and we're gonna go press those out. Maybe we'll bring y'all along with the camera. Well, all right, as mentioned, the leaf springs that we got from, I think they came from Classic Industries, and they are Beltec. They, for one, they mislabeled front. This should be over here. And being that they put front on here, then they put the bushing in the front, which it should be in the front, but the front is the back. So, yeah, so we've got to use our Harbor Freight press to push the bushing out. We got a socket that's going to go on there that's the size of the bushing that will push it out, and then we'll press it in to the front hole. We're learning from our mistakes, which normally we don't. But, you know, in this case we are. But our normal motto is work harder, not smarter.
And safety third.
No, I don't know about that one. All right, so cut to the time lapse. For you people out there in YouTube land, we had to take this down a few thousandths, I don't know how much, so that it would fit in the hole in the bottom of the axle housing. So don't assume that things are going to work. We just thought we would put it up there and everything would be cool, and we should have been able to, but that's not always the case. So
There we go.
there we go. Man, what a hassle. All right, so the front's in the back and the bolt's ground down, and we swapped the bushing. It comes in from the other side.
Oh, it does? Okay.
Yeah, we need to not attach that until we have the pin in place, because I can move it back and forth.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, it's lined up right now, so all you gotta do is...
It should drop on there now that we...
Okay, Justin, push. Okay. You're like half inch off.
Back?
Yeah, like right there. Okay.
It should drop on there now.
It didn't drop all the way, but
Well, it's got to drop on there.
it's like the least needs to go.
I mean, it might be that it's... Yeah, it might be that. This
Light.
saddle or
See the
leaf
bolt?
perch, whatever it's called, it is down on the bolt that goes through the leaf spring, and that keeps everything lined up, and has for 65 years, but the new one was too big and it wouldn't go up in the hole on the old axle. Well, there we go. All right.
4 digits.
One side done. And,
Next good.
you know, in theory, this spring on this side is still complete. It's old, so it might sag as much as this 3 to 4 inch lowering spring. So it might ride okay right now, but we're not going to put it on the road until we get the other one done. But that's enough for tonight, because we got other things to do. You know, there's life outside of cars. As much as we would like to do this full time, we have regular jobs. Cheryl and I are both RNs, and Justin is a home construction guy.
Residential construction.
And like a, I don't know, brain surgeon or a,
Rocket science.
no, a mathematical genius. Yeah, so anyway, that's all for tonight. Well, yeah,
But now
it'll
I
probably
think
be
we
a couple
have,
weeks.
we have an advantage because we've done one.
Well, yeah, we know.
I feel like the other one's gonna go.
We know the
faster,
bushing, the
smoother.
spring's labeled backwards, and the bushing has to be swapped out, and the pin needs to be ground down. And if we did all of that in advance, it really wouldn't take us that long. So we encountered a few obstacles, but we got through them. So anytime you buy parts, there's a good chance they're not going to go on there just like they should. So see y'all. Well, look who showed up in the shop. The cleanup boy.
I went from sweeping floors at Kenwood Rod Shop to sweeping floors in our own shop. So really, have I made it anywhere?
No, you haven't.
Still just sweeping floors.
Moby, you should just like lay on your back and squirm around and sweep the floors. That's a clean sweep.
He doesn't even care.
Anyway, so we have changed the bushing on the leaf spring and moved it from the alleged front to the actual front. And Jake showed up and Sophia's over there. And yeah, so we're about to turn over a new leaf.
You get negative points for those comments.
We gotta do some dad jokes, but I guess with you they would be mom jokes.
Yeah.
But you're lame. You ain't got any.
No. You're right.
She's new to this camera thing. It kind of catches you off guard. But oh yeah, break the camera, Jake.
It's fine.
It's one take, Jake. So one thing we have noticed since we changed the leaf spring on the passenger side, it seems we have changed the angle of the rear end perhaps a little bit, and now we're leaking gear oil out the front seal just because we changed the leaf spring on one side. So it's probably going to get even worse when we change it on the other side. It does seem the angle is slightly different between the two.
This thing still has the tag on the
tilting
rear
it
end.
down.
That's cool. You never see that anymore.
Huh.
It actually still has the tag, which probably has the actual gear ratio on it somewhere.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't have one of those on my rear end. That would not be good. That would not be good. That is family friendly. You can say rear end. You just can't say beep.
Something jumped up and bit me right in the buttocks.
All right, Forrest. All right, so here we go. So we gotta, one thing we gotta do is take this leaf pack apart because this pin is too big to go into the alignment hole on the axle, so we have to take this out, grind this down. We did it on the other side too. Maybe I talked about it. I don't know. It was like 2 weeks ago. I don't remember. I'm old. But anyway, so yeah, this pin goes up into the perch or whatever, saddle, whatever you call it. But man, these springs are crusty. The whole car's crusty back here, but
Not rusty though.
but not too bad. The frame is actually pretty good, but the floor pan is horrible. And these side, the door sills, they're just eat up. Yeah, they got holes.
Look at the support back here.
Yeah, the supports, for some reason, the supports and the floor pan are like just all gnarly and eaten up, but the frame is still good, so that's all that matters. So we'll just cover this with a bunch of fiberglass, and that's the way I would do it.
Nope.
And she'll be good to go. So I was looking around up here. We got some XLG gas shock absorbers made by KYB. And what else? We got a new fuel tank, but this thing is tiny. This was in the car when we bought it. These leaf springs are just really kind of crusty. We're changing the shackles, which have new bushings in them, and then we were going to change the U-bolts, which people say to do, but the new ones are kind of skinny, so we're just going to use the old ones. And then we've got to change, and maybe I talked about this already, we've got to change the front seal because this rear end, it is now dripping gear oil onto the floor. So you need some more leverage. You need a longer ratchet, but looks like you got it.
I got it. So we've learned a few things from the last venture. With the other side, when we took this bolt off here, it popped out and shot this out like a bullet that way. So we're gonna clamp this down. And then while we're at it, the reason we're removing it in the first place is we gotta shave this down so that it clicks into the axle thing.
Yeah, the alignment hole.
The alignment pin, alignment hole. Yeah, so this will go up into that. So
Yeah, so if we clamp this before, then that'll keep all these leaf packs lined up. The hole will be lined up. So then we don't have to realign it while we're trying to clamp it. So that's where you learn from doing a job over and over. You get fast at it, but hopefully we're not gonna be doing this over and over. But it's good to know for maybe the next time. Maybe there will be one.
come on, surely it's gotta be off by now. There we go.
Well, all right, back to you, Cheryl. What do you have to say about it?
We got it. We did.
So we got to get the old spring off so we can pop this into the hole on the axle to see if it's going to fit. So we'll just leave this.
We don't have to put this back together.
That's right. Easy peasy, right? So yeah, so we're about to get up there and pull that leaf spring off. And the cool thing about doing this, we're doing it one side at a time, so you don't have to drop the axle or anything. Everything kind of stays lined up, hopefully. So
here.
Yeah. Oh, we got a lot of junk in the trunk. Yeah. So.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Anyway, that looks pretty good on this side, right? Scrap metal probably.
All that junk?
Yeah. Some quality work here, right?
It was at one point.
Yeah. 50, 65 years ago.
Hey. Yeah.
Hold on.
Buddy, you're an old guy.
We got the beat.
Working on a coal mine. Working on a coal mine. Whoop, slip down.
All right, so on the back we have the bolts welded into the shackle. So they came out pretty easy, but on the front we actually have a bolt that goes through from a hole in the frame to the outside. So I've got to hold it with a ratchet here on the inside of the frame, and she's going to break it loose using that monster breaker bar, and you're going the wrong direction.
Of course I am. We had this talk.
We did, yeah. Yeah. I think it, didn't we break the bolt on the other side?
Yes, we did.
Let me get it here. Okay.
I need to position. All right, ready?
Yep. Oh yeah. Ugh.
That's a good sound. Why do I keep doing this to my fingers?
Maybe you need some
Gloves.
gloves? Yeah, people do wear them.
Maybe that would be a good idea.
Jake is up there cleaning out the trailer from sick week with Sophia. I think he's about got it done.
Yeah, so going to events is not just work while you're there. It's a lot of work beforehand and a ton of work afterwards, and for some reason we still do it over and over again.
Wait a minute.
But I will
idiots.
say, this time that y'all haul trailer really helped us out.
It was nice.
Yeah.
It was.
So yeah, if y'all didn't see this on sick week, the Elko pulled the Sally Speed Shop y'all haul trailer. This is like a 1976 Wells cargo trailer that we picked up off Facebook Marketplace. The lights don't work on it, so we ran some magnetic lights and just stuck them to the rust, and then put some zip ties around there so we wouldn't lose them. And we actually got the tag off another trailer because we didn't have time to get this thing tagged. But anyway, the Elko did great. It's kind of dark out here, but 1,000 miles, ran the best time of 12.2 with a 130 shot of nitrous, and really performed well. But Of course, that's not fast enough for us. We want to get into single digits. How about this thing? So Jake is doing a Sniper. This is a carburetor car currently, but he's going to put a Sniper EFI through Holly, and should make cold starts a lot easier and just driving in general a lot better than a carburetor. There's a reason why people got away from carburetors, because electronic fuel injection is so much more reliable in all kinds of environments. Cold, hot, whatever. If you're driving around a racetrack at, you know, whatever, 35, 40 degrees. Anyway, you got that thing done yet? You got that new leaf spring in there yet?
Where'd it
So we have the, that's probably not gonna, we're gonna have to spin that with a wrench, because it seems like it's kind of seized up inside the bushing. So we're gonna have to get that broke loose, but we gotta get this out, and then we'll be able to drop the leaf spring. Then we gotta grind down the alignment pin so that it will go in that axle without any problem, and we'll be good to go, right?
Good to go.
Anyway, so we gotta knock this out.
With the persuader.
I think the other side broke,
Yeah.
so we didn't have to deal with this nonsense. We got some 65, 66-year-old dust coming off of here. Ah! Damaged my car. We're gonna try something different.
No movement.
That is not spinning. It's always something.
Fixed all these other problems.
That's Jake's line. It's always something. It's true though. It is always something.
Yes. Okay.
So I don't know if we could push on it. Well, hey Jake, maybe you can help with this issue. I don't know.
Have you tried threading it out?
I mean, yeah.
Threatening
Yeah,
it?
you have. Give me an impact.
I don't know.
Let's try threatening it. Bolt, if you don't come out.
Threatening it out?
You said, yeah.
Threading it out.
Threaten.
Not spinning.
Push on it. You're not gonna be able to push on it with that. You need something
Hold
flat.
on. Try it. No,
Push on it
just
with the edge of the
try it
sand.
for a
With the
minute.
edge of- you're gonna hurt yourself. Push on it with the edge.
Yeah, you start.
Hit it while I spin it.
All right.
Well, it's coming. That's a
Far
start.
away.
You gotta start it.
Let me push it. Huh?
You can figure it out now, right?
No, come on. Get back over here. Don't be failing. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. All right, go.
Anything that's like,
All right. Hold on. Hold on.
Just hit it with a hammer.
Yeah, it might go now.
yeah, it's
You
going.
weren't on it anymore.
Old Craftsman screwdriver doing the job.
Hang on. All right, now go.
Yeah, it's coming out of the metal sleeve. Oh yeah. There we go. 66 years in the making. Oh, it had a star nut on it. Star washer. So how are we doing on our video? Because we haven't really done this before. Not too much. I'm usually on the receiving end of the camera. So yeah, kind of scary, right? Anyway, on this shackle, you gotta pop this off. Might need a bigger screwdriver because it's been on there for 66 years. But yeah, this side comes off, and then we'll get the spring off, and then we'll figure out if we can get the other side off, because I don't know if this pipe was here before. I guess it probably was, but we need to, we might need that clearance. I don't know. We'll see. We can always use a death wheel and cut it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, lose a few fingers or something. So
Trips to the
let me go grab a bigger screwdriver. We can't get the shackle off. I put a little of Jake's loose juice. So one thing you can do if you ever get a can of WD-40 or PB Blaster or whatever that loses its pressure, you can punch a hole in it and then put that in a spray container. And Jake calls this loose juice, but it's like PB Blaster and WD-40. And so you don't have to just throw it away, and does the trick. So maybe we can get this off with this larger crowbar. I don't know. I think it's coming off of there a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so.
there we go.
Ah!
Finally.
I was gonna try to get the off button.
There we go. Turn it over and it leave.
Huh? How many times you're gonna use that joke?
Well, that's not good.
What?
The filler neck is in the way, and it's metal. It's not flexing, and that would also be an issue on putting the new one in. Hey Jake, come look at this. This.
Can't get the shackle out.
So close.
So close.
We could pull the tank down and move it forward a little.
What's the issue?
It's hitting and it needs to go above the frame.
That's hitting this.
Yeah.
I bet you can just take it loose here and pivot that forward far enough.
You think? Okay. So we're gonna take it loose there and pivot it forward far enough.
That's what I would
That's
try
my idea.
first, before I drop the tank.
What do you think?
I think we should take it loose there and pivot that forward.
That's a great idea. I'm glad you thought of that. All right.
Takes a village.
Takes a village to raise an idiot. All right, so I have taken this loose up here, and I'm hoping that we can pull this down. But I was noticing while I was up here, this like vent tube, that's really, it's quite vented. It's no wonder when the car fills up, it just spills gas all over the ground. That could be the reason. Oh, and it's capped over here. Yeah.
Did you know that?
So I guess
like-
that's something on the to-do list. Yeah. No, we didn't know that. We really hadn't. We bought this car sight unseen, just some pictures
Yeah.
from Wichita, Kansas, and then the LS swap wasn't complete. We put a Terminator X on it and drove it 920 miles. And it did remarkably well. It was really a wing and a prayer, and sometimes I think, yeah.
You had me. It's more than a wing and a prayer.
Oh, Jake said we had him along, so that's more than a wing and a prayer. But you know, we do rely on a higher power, and this higher power in this case in the shop is like about, I don't know, 8-10 feet up. So we got the tube loose up here, and we got the tube up here loose, and we pivoted it forward, and that pretty much fixed it. Yeah. So now we got to get the the bushing out, and then put the new shackles and chain in there. So yeah, we'll have to get a screwdriver or something. I can't do both. Hold the camera and do this. We'll see. I think that's coming out actually with one hand. I got the Kung Fu grip, a grip of steel. It's actually coming out.
Remember that shoot to edit.
Shoot to edit, yeah. I'm like gonna have like 3 hours of footage for a 30-minute video. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm having to get the bushing out of here, so I got a socket the size of the opening for the I don't know, shackle holder, pivot point. So just tap that out. I've already hit it a couple times. So you see the bushing is just popping out over there. Whew. Along with some 66-year-old dust. So there we go. And so now we're about to pop a new shackle up there. So if we can get that popped in there, I'm gonna put some grease on it and pull it and wiggle it in there. And then I don't think the grease will hurt anything. And then because it slides on there very easily. So we'll do that. right, so this bushing is needing to be pressed into the shackle mount, if that's what you call it. So I'm gonna put a little grease on it, make it slide in there a little easy. And then I'm gonna put some on in the hole. It's in the hole. And that will make it slide in there easily. And then well, we think it will. We hope it will. There it goes. There we go. So
beautiful.
Use the other, and then squeeze that bushing in, and then we'll be able to hang the leaf. And little sister has to go because she is she's a PACU nurse, and they start kind of early. So I probably should be leaving too, but I'm gonna try to get it done because we're close. So thanks for your help, Cheryl.
All right.
And next time you see the car, hopefully it will be on the ground, and we'll get we'll do a little test drive with it. We need seat belts. We need to we need to bleed the brakes, and I think that's the only thing. Yeah, we're getting close, getting closer. And this was probably the longest job, so the other stuff should be easy. Thanks for your help.
Thank you.
So Jake is helping me. He's got a shadow on him. Jake is helping me on putting the leaf spring back on because my sister bugged out. Jake has a little more attention to detail than me. I just left all the paper on there and figured after a couple years of driving in the rain, it would come off. But probably much better to take it off. But anyway, what I wanted to do was a little quality control. So this should be, says front, should be rear. Sorry, my Sharpie's dry. Yeah. Attention to detail, Beltec. This is the back. And of course, because it was labeled front, they put the bushing in there, and we had to take the bushing out and actually move it to the front. So
making it work, that's what counts.
that's right.
Don't always trust the instructions. The instructions are often wrong.
I should have sent them back.
That's why we call them destructions actually around here. Not a fan.
That's right.
Just skip them, throw them away. They'll hurt you. Then you got to go dig through the trash later when you make a mistake and figure it out.
Don't listen to him, kids. He's giving you bad advice.
I got to say, this is about the jankiest little setup I've ever seen to hold the axle up. Yeah.
We got an engine stand
that's
here.
Our Chinesium
holding
engine
it up. And the little notch in here between the telescoping portion and the main mast or beam is holding it there. So we got to squeeze that bushing in there. There's some grease down here. Lube it up.
Actually pull this off.
So a little grease goes a long way. So I had an issue with that earlier because there was a bunch of debris up in there and it was like pushing it up over sand. So yeah, still not in all the way, but it's close enough. It'll squeeze in there over over the miles. And so we got the plate that goes on there, and it's wider at the top. And then the tension nuts or castle, I don't know what they're called, but
It's basically a lock nut that's in the design of a castle nut-ish.
yeah.
It's just not a, doesn't have nylock, but it's a lock nut.
All right, so we're about to swing the leaf up here. Hit the alignment pin on the axle. Well, we'll fix that later. But we're gonna pop this in. That thing's a little, that thing's a little wallered out. Because somebody didn't use a good lock washer.
Just tap right here.
There we go.
Tap, tap, taparoo.
It's in the hole.
I feel like Caddyshack references happen a lot in my shop.
Is that gonna work? Barely. Oh, there's a lot more sticking out the other side.
Boom.
We'll draw in.
Washer, lock washer, nut. You don't want this to fall out.
Yeah. Oh, well, it was supposed to be a nylon nut, but we lost it somehow. I don't know. Thank you. So now this will have to just get onto the alignment pin, alignment bolt, which should not really be too much of an issue. We'll have to push the spring over. You can imagine, like when we were trying to do this before, oh, you're close, there you go. When we were trying to do it before, the pin was too big, so it wasn't really working. So, yeah, we had to take everything back down. Kind of a hassle. Much easier to check it before. A lot of times we don't do that, and we should, and it would just save us like massive amounts of time.
And headache.
Yep. So we're almost done here. We're just gonna button things up, and we'll show it to you when it's done. Right. He's got the U-bolts on there, and I've got to tighten up this shackle. We're about to pull the rear end lift, or otherwise known as an engine lift, out of here because everything is buttoned up and the car didn't fall on us. So that's good. And yeah, we about got it done. We're gonna cut to the time lapse of us cleaning up. And the job is finished. Got to get a new seal for the rear end. And one step closer to having this thing on the road.
Add it to the list.
Well, hello everybody. It's another day back in the shop, and today we are hopefully going to test drive this thing. One thing that I didn't show on the last video is when I was tightening up this shackle, the last bolt to tighten up, I broke it. And yeah, that's what's left of it. I think there was a flaw with it because really I didn't tighten it that tight.
Yeah, the metal actually looks porous.
Yeah.
So he bought some real quality parts apparently.
I think they came from Classic Performance or wherever that is.
So rather than taking this all the way back apart, which we would have had to remove the U-bolts, removed the front bolt, held the axle back up, pulled this all the way back apart, I decided I'm just gonna weld up the little bit of the bolt that was sticking through. So
yeah,
I broke out the flux core welder because we don't have any welding gas, and I literally welded it up with a flux core welder, and it'll be fine because I was not taking all that back apart just to fix one broken bolt.
Yeah, it does take a lot to put this in. You got to actually disconnect this tube, and the bracket the shackle has to come in from on top of the frame, and so it was a much easier fix, and it should be good for another 65 years. It probably heated that rubber up a little bit, but
it melted just the edge of it.
We can always change it later. Yep. Right, Mobes?
Mobes is ready for a car ride.
We got Moby in the shop. So. We got Panda Express in the shop, orange chicken. I think it's always good to have food on videos.
Yes.
It's just appealing.
But what we're gonna do is take this thing out and drive it and make sure everything's working like it should. And we're gonna have to do some other things to this car in the future, like floor pans and seat bolts, and now a
seat belts.
Pinion seal. Well, bolts aren't there because the seat belts aren't there, but we also need to do a pinion seal because it started leaking. But first we're gonna drive it and see how bad it's leaking and if the leak goes away once it starts moving. Because sometimes you mess with stuff and then it sits and it starts leaking, and then you drive it and the leak goes away. So
yeah,
we'll see what we can figure out.
That's why you gotta drive your junk.
You have to. But
yeah.
For starters, we gotta get this thing down off the lift.
Yep. So. Daylight's a wasting here in Georgia.
One of our cylinders leaks down a little. It's fine.
Yeah, we have a leak, so what we have to do is bring it up and put it on the locks, and then we can let the pressure off, and it doesn't leak. So that's our workaround solution, but it works.
We also need a strap for the hood. So the hood latch is broken on this car. So basically we ratchet strap this sucker down.
How you like that? We gotta lock it down, and then we're gonna get out and ride this thing and kind of end the episode, I guess, right?
Yeah, so this is gonna wrap things up before future episodes with the 57.
Oh yeah.
All right, so my dad's about to fire this thing up, and then we'll toss Moby in the back seat and go for a little cruise down the road and see how it does. So,
all right, here we go. That's Holly Terminator X.
It's the best. Look at that, been sitting for who knows how long. Fires right up. All right, pull it forward some. So let's run up to the gas station real quick, see how the car is doing, and then get it back, and we'll do some more work onto it in future episodes.
What you think? You want to go for a car ride? You want to go for a car ride?
Oh, yeah, you do.
Go, get in there.
Come on.
Get in there.
Good boy.
Yeah, we got to put our suitcase back behind the seat because it keeps the seat from rocking. Because there are no bolts in the front. It's great. Ooh. I told you it creaks out back.
Is that out back?
Yeah, that's all your work. So last time I drove this thing after he did the one leaf spring, it was creaking like crazy. So something might be settling in. I think it's just the new rubber binding slightly. I don't know how much he greased everything.
Were you supposed to grease them?
I mean, it's rubber with weight on it. So he didn't grease anything.
I did, yeah. I did grease it because we couldn't get the bushings in there without grease.
Well, it's the right side creaking,
Well,
which I don't know if you greased that side.
we did, but maybe not enough.
But it's creaking a little bit, but it drives. The springs seem to be springing. The front end's QA1 with an adjustable coilover, so we know that that works. But the rear is old junk, except for the leaf springs. So I think they're even old shocks. Or no, they replaced the shocks.
They're KYBs.
So the shocks have been replaced out back for some KYBs, but we'll have to put some adjustable QA1s on it in the future. So we're taking a little sunset cruise. We got a beautiful sunset going off in the distance, and we're gonna get to enjoy that while we test drive this car a little bit. And it seems to be riding good. It's creaking a little out back. Moby doesn't seem to mind. He's just enjoying the wind in his fur. And we're gonna run up to the gas station, and we should probably put some gas in this car because I have no idea how much gas is in the tank.
Yeah, me neither.
That sunset though is going off. Hard to see on camera, but it looks great. It's definitely making some noise. I don't know what you did.
Yeah,
but
well,
you did
it's not
something.
doing that before.
I just need to settle in. I'm sure it'll be fine. Get on it a little bit. Thing cruises so well. It gets like 20 miles in a gallon. It's amazing. The Terminator X, it's where it's at. Well, there we go. We made it to our local gas station, Fraser's, here in Madras, Georgia. And 57 is looking killer under the gas station lights. It's making a little noise out back, but it's at least driving. What do you think, Mobes? You think it's fine? I think it's fine. But no springs fell out like they did on our drive back from Kansas, so that's an improvement. There's something just creaking a bunch in here, but you can see new shackles, new leaf springs. Just needs a little bit of dialing in. These leaf springs have this thing sitting level at least now. Before it leaned to one side when that bottom leaf fell out on the passenger side of the car, but it's there. What'd you think?
Nobody was honking if parts fell off.
Not this time. On the road back from Kansas, yes, but not this time. So there we go. I'm gonna put some gas in it, and that's gonna wrap it up for this video. You got to watch my dad and my aunt work on the 57 and accomplish some things that needed done, but there's still more to get done.
So if something's not right, it's her fault.
Yeah. Don't you love that?
57 Chevy fills through the little spot above the taillight.
It's just smart.
So stealthy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, like I said, that's gonna wrap it up. Huge thank you to you guys for watching. We appreciate all of the support. Please remember to hit that subscribe button. It does a lot more for us than you know. And drop a like, drop a comment. Let us know what you liked, what you didn't like, and we'll see you guys on the next one.